Hello YouTube, it's Joe Bob and Half here. Today I'm posting two videos at once. Um, so if you don't care, the first issue is going to be about video game violence and how it's blamed for everything, and violence in general. Second one's going to be about, sanctions. So if you don't care about video game violence and violence among children, just skip to the second half of the video for sanctions if that's all you care about, or vice versa. Okay. First, I'm going to talk fast so I can get through both. Okay, first, video game violence. Personally, I don't think video game violence causes any real-life violence. I mean, sure, it causes some. But then again, do you realize that people who cause violence tend to look at disturbing images anyway? So all they would, if they didn't have video game violence, they would read, fucked up books. Or they'd look at fucked up pictures from, massacres and stuff like that. They'd read Holocaust books or, Vietnam books or whatever. So, video game violence, video games for them is just the same as reading a fucked up book or watching, a mass thing about mass murder. It's the same damn thing. Also, I saw a program this morning. It showed a girl being, having the shit kicked out of her by two girls who she apparently, supposedly, said racist remarks to. I don't give a shit about that. I mean, I do give a shit if she actually said it, but that's not what I'm talking about today. I don't want to get sidetracked. Basically, they kicked the shit out of her, both of them, and then finally a student jumped in and helped her. Anyway, and then they showed a whole bunch of other pictures from school buses. This was on a school bus. A whole bunch of other film footage from school buses of kids having the shit kicked out of them. And they say, violence is on the rise in children, especially girls. Now, girls, I can understand, because women are going through, I guess it's because, for at least for younger children, it's because girls are going through the change earlier, but they still have the maturity level as they would if a younger person. They become a little bit more violent. That's my, off the top of my head excuse. Probably is wrong, I will admit. I haven't researched into that. And I'm not going to right now. Anyway. So, they blame, they say violence is on the rise. Violence is not on the rise. Maybe a little bit, but not much among children. What it is for one, more video cameras are in schools and school buses. So more of the violence is being caught on tape. And two, kids are actually reporting the violence more now. It used to be a kid grabbed you, pulled you into the bathroom, kicked the shit out of you, and put your head in the toilet. You just said you fell. Nowadays, you tell about every little thing. Yes, I was bullied as a kid. I didn't say a goddamn word. Why? Because that's not what you do. At least it wasn't what you do now then. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't report it. Yes, you should report it. But the thing is that people see that more children are reporting violence, and what they do is they say, "Oh, violence is on the rise." Just as, and don't you badmouth me for saying this because I haven't looked into it very much. They say that rape is on the rise. Yes, rape is probably on the rise somewhat, but not nearly as much as statistics say it is. What it is, and if you look at these statistics, they also say that most sexual crimes, which are terrible, terrible crimes, are not reported, but they're getting reported more now. Anyway, that's a little bit off on a tangent, so please don't hold me to that. It was just spur of a moment. So basically, violent and violent crimes may be on the rise in children, but it only seems to be on the rise drastically because it's being reported more and being seen more. And people like to blame that on video games. That's bullshit. Anyway, subject 2, sanctions. Sanctions I don't like. Here's the thing. Sanctions, in theory, a country does something that the rest of the world doesn't like. So, what does they go to the UN, or certain countries can give sanctions, but usually sanctions are UN responsible. What happens is the UN gets together, a bunch of countries vote, and they all say, well, this country should or should not have sanctions on it. Well, here's the thing. In most countries, sanctions don't do a damn thing. Sanctions, what's their purpose? Sanctions' purpose are to punish the leader. But most countries that get sanctioned are fucking dictatorships and autocracies. I think that's, yeah, autocracy. Yeah. Anyway. And what they do, instead of the leader suffering from these sanctions, the leader doesn't care about the people. So what they do is they pass, instead of taking the sanctions on themselves, they pass it on to the people. So what they do is you do what Saddam did, is where he had sanctions on him, and instead of, suffering for it, he just taxed the people more, built more palaces for himself, stockpiled millions in U.S. gold, and what he did, gold and money anyway, and then what he did is he let his people starve. Same thing is probably going to happen with North Korea, though it may not, because the thing is that now China is pissed off at North Korea, and China is a protector of North Korea, so they may get in a little trouble, but still. And then what happens is that the people are starving, and then you get people like Michael Moore, they come on, and they call the U.S., not the United Nations, but the U.S. a murderer because they don't trade with a country who's supposed to be punishing the leader. If you're a leader of a country and you have sanctions on yourself, you should give enough shit about the people to at least give some of that goddamn wealth that you're stockpiling to the people. Hell, isn't that what communism is supposed to be? Isn't communism that everybody's fucking equal? Yeah, everybody starves equally. Except the leader. Okay, that's about all for today. Yes, I feel better now. Now I'm gonna go shopping. Anyway, if you like my speeches, and you're not a subscriber yet, please subscribe. The button's up there. Even if you don't subscribe, or if you're already a subscriber, please rate. Ratings are stars, they're down there. Anyway, and of course, comment, please don't be a troll and flame. Anyway, it's Joe Bob 1/2, always talking about two things, love and peace.